Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, y'all are having a good day. Alrighty, so for today's warm up, I'd like for y'all to please work on 1, 2, and 3, 5 through 8, and 9 through 11. If y'all forgot how to find the square of each number, they do give you guys an example up here. So y'all can follow that example. Or another way of seeing this here, ladies and gentlemen, is 5 squared, or 5 to the second power. It's not 5 times 2, ladies and gentlemen. It's 5 times 5, which is 25. So I helped you out with that one. Please work on 2 and 3. When it comes to number 5, when they're asking y'all to evaluate each expression, plug this exactly as it is, as it appears, onto your calculators, ladies and gentlemen. And you all should be able to solve those with no issues. The bottom ones here is simplifying each expression. What they mean, ladies and gentlemen, is just to solve that. 5 times 8 times 10, and I'm going to help you out with that one, ladies and gentlemen. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 times 10 is 400, okay? But y'all can plug that into your calculator, and you all should be able to solve those with no issues. All right, so before we move on, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. And that's what you all should have had for your warm-up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now moving on. All righty, so these are some key vocabulary that y'all need to know, ladies and gentlemen, when y'all are what we're going to work with today. Y'all need to know that a right triangle, ladies and gentlemen, there will be one angle that measures 90 degrees. Angles opposite right angle. And the sum of blank measures equal 180, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you all to take about a minute or two to go ahead and work on these, or on this right here, please. Oh, gosh. All right. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, on here you're supposed to use the words that are checkmarked to complete this graphic. All right, so an angle that measures 90 degrees, what is that called? In a right triangle, angles opposite to the right triangle, because we know that all the angles in the right triangle sum up to 180 degrees. So if one of those angles is 90 degrees, what do we know about all the other two? And anyways, so y'all can finish this on your own. Alright, and this is what y'all should have had, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so now moving on. So today we're going to start working with the Pythagorean Theorem, ladies and gentlemen, which the state of Texas expects y'all to be able to use the Pythagorean Theorem and its converse to solve problems. What it means to you: you will find a missing length in a right triangle, or use side lengths to see whether a triangle is a right triangle. The Pythagorean Theorem, ladies and gentlemen, is a postulate or something, is a fact that only applies to right triangles. Sergio, what are right triangles? What was that, sir? Yes, great job. He says a right triangle, Mr. DeSato, is a triangle that contains only one right triangle, or one right angle, which measures 90 degrees. Good job, sir. Alrighty, so now moving on. And here they give us an example here.
It's not on.
The formula for the Pythagorean Theorem, ladies and gentlemen, is a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, okay? So, moving on now. This example, might not make sense to a lot of y'all, but anyways, we're going to have some more practice on this. All right, so lesson 8.1, the Pythagorean Theorem. Up there, you all can see what the state of Texas expects from y'all. In a right triangle, the two sides that form a right angle are the legs. The side opposite the right triangle, or when I say the right angle, is the hypotenuse. The Pythagorean Theorem. In a right triangle, the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs is equal to the square of the length of the hypotenuse. If A and B are legs and C is a hypotenuse, then A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Alrighty, so ladies and gentlemen, here's how this goes. Alright, the most important leg here, or may I say the most important thing to keep in mind, is your hypotenuse, ladies and gentlemen, which is always the longest side. The longest side. Also, another way of finding out or determining what your hypotenuse is, once you identify your right angle, ladies and gentlemen, you all can draw an arrow opposite of it, and that also identifies your hypotenuse, or your longest leg. In this equation here, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, your two legs can either be a or b or a, however you all choose to see that. However, your hypotenuse always has to be c, always, always, always. So what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter if that leg is a and that is b, or if that is b and that is a, ladies and gentlemen. That is irrelevant. However, what you all do need to keep in mind is your hypotenuse. Questions, comments, or concerns? All right, ladies and gentlemen, so now moving on. All right, so these here are not too relevant. All right, so here, using the Pythagorean Theorem. You can use the Pythagorean Theorem to find the length of a side of a right triangle when you know the lengths of the other two sides. When you all get into, well, anyways, find example number 1. Find the length of the missing side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so before we do anything, I want you all to start off by, I know they've worked this one out for us, but I'm going to ask you all to do something a little different, or a little extra, so to say. I want you all to go ahead and list the information or identify the information that they've given you. Have they given us A? Have they given us B? Have they given us C? Are you okay, Mr. Orlando? All righty, I love math too, sir, but try to keep it inside, okay? Let's keep it down to a minimum, please, sorry. All righty, so here in this situation, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to identify your C, or your hypotenuse. In this example, have they given us our hypotenuse, our longest leg? Well, we know, well, this one appears to be longer, but we're not sure. But we do know that that's my right angle right there. And as I said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, your hypotenuse is always opposite your right angle. So you draw your arrow, and bingo, there it is. Here, they have not given us, so that's what we're trying to solve for. So here, we can call, or we can identify 7 as A, 24 as B. So here we can put 7 and 24, and a question mark for C, because they have not given us that. So now, we have the formula, ladies and gentlemen. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 7 squared plus 24 squared equals C squared. 7 squared is 49 plus 24 squared, which is 576, equals C squared. You add these two, ladies and gentlemen, which you all get 625 is equal to C squared. We're not so much looking for two C's, because remember, it's still C squared. It's still C squared. If two C's or the same number equals 625, what is that number? So if you all look at your calculators, you do have this key that looks like this, which is your square root. So you guys press Control and that key, and what you do to one side, you do to both sides. The square root of 625 is 25. The square root of C squared is C. So ladies and gentlemen, that missing side length measures 25 units, whatever our units are. Questions, comments, or concerns? Alrighty, so an example, on the next example, ladies and gentlemen, here's a bit different. So let's identify what information they have given us here. Let's see, A equals, B equals, and C equals, ladies and gentlemen. So here, I identify my hypotenuse, which is that leg right there, ladies and gentlemen. So they've given us C. So I'm going to start off by labeling C. Now, it really doesn't matter what you all identify 12 as. You guys could identify that as A or B. Here, we're going to look for A, where they've already given us B. So we're looking for A, and B, the measure of B is 12 centimeters, ladies and gentlemen. So we substitute that value there. Now, the formula, once again, is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A, we don't know, so we can just leave it as A squared, plus 12 squared is equal to 15 squared. So now let's go ahead and simplify all those. 144 is equal to 225. Now you would subtract 144 from both sides, ladies and gentlemen. You end up getting A squared is equal to 81. But once again, we're not looking for that same, or two A's. We're looking for just one A, so we need to find the square root of both sides. And we identify that the square root of A is 9. Questions, comments, or concerns, ladies and gentlemen? Alrighty, so now I'd like for y'all to please go ahead and try examples 4 and 5.